Happy New Year, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed the holiday, and I'm hoping you had a chance to get a little bit of much deserved rest and relaxation along the way. Thanks for joining us today to see what's new in Student Manager and to hear what's coming in the next release of ACEware. And we want to share a little bit of what else is happening at ACEware this month. The slide you're seeing on your screen shows the current versions of Student Manager and ACEware. Student Manager 071 was released today, and ACEware 52 is your current version. As a reminder, I would like to share with you and that you can always see what's the latest and greatest or what bugs have been fixed and what new features are available in our ACEware forum. You find that on aceware.com by going to the company menu item at the top and selecting ACEware Forums from the drop-down menu. And also, each of these update webinars are saved to our webinar archives. And from aceware.com, you'll go to the Events heading and select ACEware Webinar Archives, and the sessions are saved to the tab that's named Software Updates. And you'll see a brief summary in the description of what's new in each of those releases. While I turn things over to Matthew, I'm going to remind you that if you have questions or comments, you can type those into the chat box for Chuck and me. We'll be monitoring those and answering questions or getting those questions to the appropriate person. So that's all I have in the form of housekeeping notes. And so, Matthew, I'm seeing your screen, and we're ready to see what's new in January.
Okay, thank you. First thing I'm going to show is dealing with the instructor type on a course. I'm going to bring up a course real quick. And under instructor, previously this drop-down was defined by us here at ACEware Systems. And you can kind of tell with the plus sign, or if I get out of here and go to the Add Edit Codes and go to Course Instructor Type, this is now defined by you guys. So you can add and remove instructor types as you guys see fit, rather than having us define this list for you. So have at it. Next couple of items I have is dealing with credentials. So let me pull up Chuck real quick. And the first thing I'm going to show is, and you can kind of tell with the arrows here on the headings, but this is now sortable. You can click on the various headings, and it sorts by the data in that column. Then also with the credentials is the score field is now longer. I think we put it, how many characters there? 3, 6, 12 characters. So hopefully that is more to what you guys are needing. At least somebody needed it wider there. All right, next is, and I just realized I may not have my test for this, but we're gonna hopefully try to wing this. So I'm going to the speed registration area. Let me pick a course with nobody in it at the moment. So I don't know. Probably in this case, I'm on a group. Can't remember what I used. I think tracking code. But anyway, I'm going to go to the import wizard and pull up my is it on my desktop? Yeah. No, that's course. No, that's not it. Yeah, that's what I get for not preparing and calling calling somebody back when I should have been preparing. Okay, I have no idea what happened to my item here. But anyway, what's happening here is the import wizard from the speed registration area is now going to allow registration fields to be imported. So if you've got custom grades on the sheet, or maybe you're putting a t-shirt size in RG MISC, that can all now be defined in your Excel template, and it'll get imported into the registrations that get imported into this course. So that's the new thing here. And this is any registration field, not just these fields on here. And actually what would happen is, like, if I've got grade of S defined on here, and in your sheet you've got, A, B, C on most everybody, anybody with a blank grade in the template would get a grade of S, but otherwise it would default to whatever is in the, or not really, the default is the S, but the what's in the sheet, the Excel sheet, overrides the default that's on this screen, if that makes sense. So if you're wanting to customize hours for people, or credits or CEUs, that can also be done. So next item, and hopefully I still have my test person set up. I don't. Let's just pick somebody else so I can do something new. All right, Bill Clinton. Let's say he gets a Pell Grant of $100. Come on. All right, and that's going to come in 2 separate draws. Say 1, 01, 01, 2019, $50. Let's add another one. Come on. 01, 15, 2019. Just give us a couple different dates, but all right. So we got 2 different draws. Save. Okay, close. Let's see. He does have a balance due, so let's look where that balance due is at. Right here. So now when I do, this is a billing. Probably not a good idea to do this against a billing, so I'm just going to delete it real quick and come in fresh. All right, let me do financial aid. It used to be when you would check mark the financial aid, you could only check mark 1 at a time and bring it in, or if you check mark 2, it would just bring in the first one. But now it's actually going to do both. If I say done, and now click find, I now see 2 different receipts, 2 different $50 draws being brought in. Probably should have done different amounts so you could see that I wasn't cheating, but it does do multiple draws then to pay off somebody as you're needing to do. So tech schools, this should help you out get this done faster. All right, next. All right, the last item I have is probably not with a feature that's used very often, but under module faculty mass update faculty fields. So this allows you to change different items in for instructors based on the courses that they're teaching. So somebody asked at conference, I think a couple years ago, to put the custom match condition on here. and we were able to do that. So if I do hours greater than 20, I should get a handful, and I'll just do print label. Set print label and say OK, no, and if I look up now, um, Tom Peters should have been one, and we do see that his print label did get set. So just like that, you can now have custom conditions with the mass instructor change fields. So any questions?
I'm not seeing any questions, Matthew, but did you do something with the clone course and the notes field as well? Was that a change to this release? Like adding the text, the notes from cloning a course? That's not sounding familiar to you, huh?
No, I think there was a long time ago somebody had asked for something with cloning instructor, but when I went to do it, it was actually already a feature. I can't remember. Clone instructor pay note is a preference, and so that was already done a long time ago. So.
All right. All right. I'm not seeing any questions, but certainly, folks, if you think of anything while Jason is kind of giving an ACEware update, type those in the chat and we can get those to Matthew or answer them as needed. So, Jason, you want to kind of give us an overview of what's happening in ACEware?
Certainly. So we've thrown in a few kind of last-minute features for the 53 release. I will say before I get into those, this is going to be kind of the cutoff point where you want to make sure that your student manager installation is on 8.0 70 or above. That is the release in which Matthew increased the length of the firm fields to 75 characters. Now, there isn't anything in the ACEware update that would be impacted by that, but there are two notable templates that if you do plan on updating from our website, if you get those from the FTP or you get one from your tech, after 53 release, those ones are going to conform to the new lengthened 75 character firm field. So you'll want to make sure that your student manager is up to date before you grab a copy of those. Okay, so a few of the features that we're sneaking in last minute here. I don't have anything to show on these just yet, but I will say we're working on or Stein is working on a redesign of the ACEware INI editor. And what that's going to do is give you the ability to filter down the INI settings either by a keyword or by categories. So we're going to group all of the INI settings into a few short category lists so that you can easily determine if you want to look at admin settings or email settings or things like that. Otherwise, you can filter just by a simple keyword. So if you know there's one particular setting that you need to change, like the office email, you need to change the email address, and you don't want to have to scroll all the way down, you can just type in email or office email and then hit the button and it'll take you right to that one setting. So that's going to be a really cool addition and definitely save. I know it's going to save the techs a lot of time, but for any of you people that like to mess around with your ACEware INI editor, it's going to save you some time too. Another one of the features that we're putting in is we're going to expand on the function that is used for displaying the workshop choices when a student's enrolling in a workshop course. So if you have workshops, if multiple workshops or multiple groups, and you want to have more control of how the date is displayed on those, Stein has put in the functionality of the nice date function into the function that controls displaying those workshops. I won't go into too much detail, but it's the HTML workshop list function. So what that's going to do is instead of just having the month slash day slash year, you're going to have the ability to customize it with all those pretty nice date options like Sunday, January 24th, 2019, so on and so forth. So if you do a lot of workshop stuff and you want a little bit more control over how the date is displayed, that's going to be something that's in this 53 release.
I
We
could
are
just imagine.
also, Hmm.
If I can just jump in here, the thing that prompted this was the fact that if you had it configured to show workshop dates, but then you had a course for which the workshops did not have dates, it still showed that blank slash blank, like there was a date box there, but no date in it. And now with the nice date thing, you'll have options that will hide that. So if there's no date, it'll just be blank. You won't have to see that. So that was one
Yep.
one little irritation that got cleared up. So,
Okay, and then finally, what I've got is we're also continuing to expand the areas and registration routines that you can use the unlimited user-defined fields on. So that complete list should be the data capture. I guess we should start with person.awp, so your sign up page, your proxy reg page, um, data capture pages, HTML and script-based express registration pages, and then finally we're going to try and get this applied to the quick pick routine as well. So if you've got that quick pick optional module, these are all areas that we're going to hopefully have unlimited user-defined fields available to use on those templates. And Stein, did you want to mention anything about the new payment gateway that we're going to be supporting, or is that still?
it's no that one that will be it's we got it in beta test right now and it looks good, but it's comes from a company called Flywire, and the payment service is called On Plan U. Uh, I, whether it's something that, other than the one particular customer who's got it, if other people would be interested, I don't know what its merits are versus, some of the other services we have out there. But for at least this particular campus felt that it was did offer some advantages. So just another option that you'll have available.
Excellent, excellent. So we're fingers crossed. We're anticipating to have 53 released by the end of the week. We definitely want to get it shipped out before Stein heads off on vacation. So check your email inboxes if you're subscribed to the ACEware updates forum, and look for that notification that the build has been released. That's all I've got for ACEware, Sharon.
Oh, very good. Those are some great things to look forward to, and some more information on that in a future webinar. So I'm still not seeing any questions, so folks are just hanging in there with us. I do want to share and remind everyone, you probably saw this in the newsletter yesterday, that we do have our annual planning retreat next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the time we take a look at the wish list and what we're going to be developing in the new year. And so your techs will be very occupied at those 2 days. Please leave them an email or a voicemail if you have a non-emergency issue you'd need them to respond to. If you do have an emergency, leave a message for us on the main phone line, and we'll be checking that line throughout the day, of course. And our January users webinar, we're going to start by a two-part series looking at student manager preferences. There are well over 150 preferences in student manager that control the things you see and the things you do. And so Chuck is going to be giving you some more information on that. We'll look on the 24th of January at preference settings and how to find them, and then Chuck will dive into some of the specifics of your system and name preferences. Chuck, did you have anything else you wanted to add about that webinar? He's saying no, he's good. And finally, I remind you that we're open for registration. We'll be in Vegas this June, and registration fees will be going up after March 9th, so we want to get you registered for this. We got a great program in the planning stages. You can see that on ACEware.com and our conference site. You can see what we're planning, and most of you have scholarship funds available, so drop me an email or give me a call, and I can tell you what scholarship funds you have available to decrease that registration fee. So let's get you registered for that. We've got a great start on that already. So those are the things going on in January, and since I'm not seeing any questions from you all, This webinar will be posted by tomorrow, and you know how to reach us if you have any other questions or are needing anything. So thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of your week and weekend ahead, and we look forward to working with you all in the new year. So have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.